a beautiful night from Philadelphia. Welcome to Baseball Night in America with this National League East matchup. The Atlanta Braves, the Philadelphia Phillies, after the Braves cruised on Friday night. Ronald Acuna and the Braves off to a wonderful start, while Harper and the Phils are still trying to get things going at 8-11, having dropped their last three. We welcome you inside. Joe Davis, Adam Wainwright, A.J. Pierzynski, and I think, guys, that we all thought that the Braves were going to be better this season, but my goodness, they lead the majors in ERA. They've scored more runs than anybody. Them being this good, it's one of the biggest stories so far.
It is. The National League East right now is flipped upside down. The Mets having lost 10 in a row. The Phillies struggling. But, Joe, what you said is the perfect formula to be really good. If you don't give up a lot of runs and you score a lot of runs, you're usually pretty good. And right now, the Braves are following that philosophy perfectly. Listen, runners in scoring position, hits, the average is second. They really stink at that one. The whip is second, but everything else, the Braves have been one of the best teams in baseball, and that's why they are where they are so far in the standings.
Yeah, how about this pitching matchup we get tonight, Adam?
Yeah, I'm a little biased, but when I saw that this was our pitching matchup 5 days ago, I got so giddy, excited. These are two of the best pitchers in all of baseball, two of the best left-handers especially, two big-time pitchers on big-time teams with big-time stuff. We are in for a treat. When you look on the mound today, coming into this year, the Atlanta Braves had a big question mark. The starting rotation, could it hold serve until a couple of their big guys got healthy again? But what they knew they needed was they needed ace-type stuff out of Chris Sale. They've got it again this year out of their 24 Cy Young winner. He's dominating, and I'll tell you what, he's got such a cool approach angle. He's going to throw balls at the top with some of the best riding fastball that you could ever have. On the other side, totally opposite game. Another low arm angle, but he's going to be throwing tremendous sinker changeup combinations. He's going to mix in a really good improved slider. But this matchup today, and these two teams, they're relying on these two guys to be aces, and they are.
Yeah, for Philadelphia, Christopher Sanchez has been one of the only things that has gone right so far. Rob Thompson's team off to this 8-11 start. For more on the Phillies, down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Good thing the Phillies have their ace on the mound. As you said, they're 8-11, already 4.5 games behind the Braves, and needless to say, their fans are restless. A year ago, the Phils ranked 8th in the majors in runs per game. This season, they are 23rd. Their lineup, beyond Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper, isn't very deep, and they're getting dominated in this ballpark, where for the past 2 years, they've had the best home record in the majors. Their last 3 losses at home were by scores of 10-4, 11-2, and 9-0. Joe?
Yeah, getting outscored 30-6 on this 3-game losing streak. As we take a look at the starting lineup for the Braves, sponsored by Papa John's. Acuna leads off, and then Drake Baldwin, Rookie of the Year last year, even better so far this year. Ozzie Albies, as he often does against left-handed pitching, bats third. Matt Olson, of course, is in there at first base hitting cleanup. Austin Riley, 2 home runs in the first game of this series last night, with Mauricio Dubon in left field, Eli White getting the start in center, Jonah Heim and Jorge Mateo rounding things out. Christopher Sanchez has a 2.01 ERA over his first 4 starts, but he's talking about still not quite feeling right. I mean, the numbers look pretty darn right.
Yeah, when you watched him so far this year, he hasn't had great consistency with his changeup. He hasn't had great consistency with his arm side, his glove side fastball. Those are 2 keys for him. He's got the best changeup in all of baseball. When he gets down, this year it's a 50% whiff rate. It is an insane pitch. But when he can get his fastball inside to those righties, it sets it up so much better. We're going to see a bunch of them today.
Trying to snap this 3-game losing streak for the Phillies at 8-11. Only the Rockies and the New York Mets, worst records in the National League. Braves, on the other hand, with the 9-0 win last night, have won 3 straight. 13-7. They've already opened up a 4-game lead in the division and have the 2nd best record in baseball. This offense that has scored more runs than any other. That's with Ronald Acuna, who leads off, just starting to heat up recently. Sanchez comes home. Off we go with a towering fly ball to center field that backs up Marsh to the edge of the track at the wall. He robs it. First pitch. What a start. Brandon Marsh takes a homer from Acuna.
I'm not going to lie, when I looked at this lineup, I was like, no Justin Crawford. But Brandon Marsh making that play on the first pitch of the game. And yes, that was a home run. There's no questioning. That was well over the fence. He times it perfectly. The only thing Ronald Acuna did wrong on that swing was he hit it too high, and he gave Brandon Marsh time to get back there and time his jump perfectly.
I mean, let's go. Jeez. Brandon Marsh goes up to get it. One pitch, one highlight, one out. Ball one on Drake Baldwin.
I don't know if people at home saw the game last night, but Acuna was kind of trolling the Philly fans a little bit. Harper hit a ball that he thought might be out, and Acuna kind of did a little trolling to Bryce. But then Marsh, you saw him, give him a look.
Ball one strike on Drake Baldwin. Here you are if you're Christopher Sanchez. You hear the crack of the bat and you're thinking, oh gosh, I just gave up a bomb on the first pitch of the day. Turns out okay.
Yeah, those first pitch of the game homers are like, okay, well, I guess I'll start over. Now it's an out. No big deal.
Comes home with a 1-1 pitch. Baldwin, who was the rookie of the year last year. So many times you see guys take the league by storm and then take a step back. And yeah, it's a long season and slumps are coming. But so far, 325, he looks like he's gone to another level.
He has, and he covers the entire zone so well. There's really no big holes for him.
Ground ball right side, easy one for Harper. 2 up and 2 down in the first. And we'll look back at that first pitch home run robbery from Brandon Marsh.
Just so high, Acuna thinks he's got it, and it's a home run. Brandon Marsh gets back to the wall and just times it perfectly, and Acuna cannot believe it. He's like, I'm the one that's supposed to be doing that to you, Marsh.
You can tell he's had a lot of time out there. He looked like he had that red right off the bat, knowing exactly where that fence was. Didn't he look so comfortable out there?
Well, that was my point. It was so high, he had so much time to get back there. He didn't have to race back there. He just timed it perfectly.
Ozzie Albies, who perpetually feels like the kid that just broke in, but you look up now and he's the longest tenured guy in the Braves. Kind of signaled the Braves reboot, kind of signaled the Braves getting back on top. He got to the big leagues now in his 10th season, 29 years of age, and off to a pretty good start. Trying to get back to what he was doing those all-star seasons. He had 33 home runs in 2023. The last 2 years, the 2 worst years of his career. Now this 2-0 from Sanchez, he's off balance. He pops it foul and out of play.
Something to watch for Sanchez today is how fast he picks up home plate. I talked to their pitching coach today, and he was talking about if he waits too long to pick up the pitcher or the catcher, he sometimes will be leaning out over his front foot and he'll never get stacked. What he's going to talk to himself all of the day about too is getting over his front leg in the right spot.
That ball is headed for right center field. Marsh on the run, won't get to this one. An extra bases for Albies. It's a 2-out double. Got Marsh flying over there, about to rob another.
I was going to say, if Marsh catches that one, he just might have had one of the greatest innings of all time in center field. Robbing a home run, and this little two-seamer. Albies is right on it, and he just ropes this into right center. Marsh was close. Just glad they didn't run into each other. Garcia did the right thing and veered off.
Not the guy you want to run into.
Not at all.
So the inning continues, and a chance here for Matt Olson. Braves trying to do what they did yesterday and jump right on the Phillies when they had a 7-0 lead 3 innings into the game. Strike one from Sanchez. Olson singled, walked 3 times in that game. He's gotten a hit in 10 straight. He's reached base in 17 straight, and he's played in 803 straight. One and one. I don't think this guy gets enough credit, not just for what he does playing every day, but what he does when he's playing.
He's just consistent. Consistent when you talk to him, consistent when you watch him. Just wants to be out there. And when I asked Walt Weiss when he was going to give him a day off, he kind of joked and said, when he wants one. But it started with Freddie Freeman. When I was here in 2015, 2016 with Freddie Freeman, he wanted to play every day. And then that led to Albies and Riley. And those guys wanted to play every day. And then when they got rid of Freddie and they brought Matt Olson over, he just kind of continued that tradition. It is something special about the Braves. They play their guys a lot.
Albies at second, 2 out. Sanchez fires 1-2. Olson left side, and a bounce Turner from short left field. Strong arm to get him and finish off the first. The Phillies defense has been one of the biggest issues so far this year, but it plays a role in Sanchez putting up a scoreless first. at bat for the first time tonight with his starting lineup sponsored by Papa John's. They've got Trey Turner leading things off. Top of the order looks like it has for years with Turner, Schwarber, and Harper. Adolis Garcia, the new addition from Texas, bats cleanup. Real Muto does the catching, trying to get more from the bottom of the order. They've got a new guy right there in Felix Reyes making his major league debut in left field, hitting 7th. 37-year-old Chris Sale, who's in his 16th season, and Waino was touching 99 the last time he pitched.
Yeah, this guy's nastier than he ever has been. He's just the same guy we knew when he was younger. He's going to throw 4 seams at the top, that weird cross, low angle. He's going to throw a nasty slider off of it. And that's pretty much all we're going to see. We're going to see him sprinkle in some changeups here and there, but we're going to see a lot of fastball slider. 2
guys that, as you said earlier, do it differently, but do it the same in that they know what makes them good, and they don't mess around. They don't get cute throwing 7 different pitches.
That's right. They know their strengths, and they stay with that. And there's always room for tinkering, right? You always want to try new things on a little small level, but you have to know who you are if you want to be great at this level, and they do.
Sale to Turner with a 1-1 pitch. Turner pokes one into center field. On comes White. It's down for a leadoff hit. Now Turner's aboard to lead things off, and let's look at these pitchers side by side.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at 6'6", 180, 6'6", 200. And
Chris is 200.
I think it's Sanchez. I don't know, but one of them, Chris Sale, is coming at an 11-degree angle. Sanchez is going to be working 30, but I'll tell you what's so unique about Chris Sale.
Here comes to Kyle Schwarber with ball 1.
Hitters have catalogs, right? There's other people in the league that come at that same angle, but the ball does not do what Chris Sale's ball does. Usually when an arm angle is that low, the ball's going to be moving east-west a lot. When it's coming from a high angle, a lot of times it's going to be north-south, backspin, high spin like that. Chris Sale's coming with that backspin from a low angle, and hitters just don't see that. So when they go to swing at it, no matter what they try to look at it on the computer, whatever, you're just not going to swing as flat as Chris Sale's fastball is. And then he throws that slider off of it that's 17 miles an hour slower. It's just a really hard mix to get on.
Turner good lead at first. Sale to Schwarber with a 1-1 pitch. Breaks in there for a strike. He debuted in 2010. And AJ, you were behind the plate for that game in many of his first few years.
I was, and he was the same exact guy he is now, maybe a little bigger than what he was back in 2000. A little fatter. I always joke with Sale, man, you're looking large these days. And he said he needs to get on a diet, but he's the same pitcher, 2-pitch guy, same angle. Actually, I think the velocity might have ticked up a little bit from back in 2010. But he hasn't changed. He's got some more gray in his beard, but just a great human being and a great guy to have on a team.
Dominated those years in Chicago. He goes to Boston, years of dealing with injuries. He thought his career might be finished when he headed to Atlanta for the 2024 season. Wave and a miss from Schwarber for the first out of the night.
That's huge for him right there. If there's one pitch that's been slow developing for him this year, it's his slider. His fastball is still working great. You see the angle on that pitch. It's got so much horizontal break too. But because of the speed variance too, it makes it really hard when you have to get ready. But you see how far out on his front foot he is. When you have to get ready for 97 miles an hour from that angle, it's really hard to hit 78.
Here's Harper. There goes Trey Turner. Swing and a miss. Throw down. Not in time. And a stolen base for Trey Turner. Only his 2nd this season, after he had 36 of them last year.
No chance for Drake Baldwin. First move for Trey Turner. And Baldwin makes a really good throw. By the way, Trey Turner stole 2nd and 3rd off Chris Sale. Or sorry, Jonah Heim. But Trey Turner stole 2nd and 3rd off Chris Sale in the 1st inning last time Sale pitched against the Phillies. So they have, Trey Turner at least has something on Chris Sale. And poor Jonah Heim.
This is the guy the Phillies want up right now. Bryce Harper, who has not been the issue as they have struggled as a team. Harper 3 more hits yesterday. 440 over his last 10 games. One ball, one strike. Two of the best players of this generation here. One of them shatters the bat of the other. And a roller to second for Albies, and the bat goes as far as the ball did. Destroyed.
Well, you know, this is where you talk about the angle.
Yeah.
And you see a slider, you see a couple sliders, and you're thinking, oh, I gotta stay back, and then he runs the ball just straight in Bryce Harper's hands and explodes his bat.
And that sets him up for the rest of the game too, doesn't it? You sting a batter's hands, break a bat like that. He's got to be conscious of that next at bat, right?
You don't want to do that again. That ball starts behind him and stays almost behind him and just gets way in on him.
A rare sinker right there. Ran that two-seamer in on him.
It's up to Adolis Garcia with 2 out, and he fouls off the first one from Sale.
See, here's the thing. You say that's a two-seamer. To me, that's just him not getting directly behind it, and it just runs a little bit in because he doesn't get his hand totally vertical. I mean, yes, does he maybe throw a two-seamer? But he was always all four-seamers. Yeah. Forever, Chris Sale.
Yeah, he throws it at a 7% clip right now. I mean, it's not coming in a lot, but in that situation right there, when you've got, especially when you've got a hot hitter up, and you can really use him, who's feeling really good at the plate, use that against him and burn one in on his hands, break a bat. That's huge for the rest of the game.
Sale has been really tough on the Phillies since going to Atlanta a few years back. 1.56 ERA in his 3 games against them. He's got a fastball to the inside corner at 97, and he's ahead of Garcia 0-2.
And if he can do that to the right-handed hitters, it is a long night, because then he throws that slider off of it. If he's dotting the inside corner, we showed the one with Bryce Harper to the lefty, but the righty is just as important, because that opens up the slider and it opens up the changeup that he doesn't throw that often.
His 0-2 pitch is high. Just hops at the hitters.
Yeah, and that's really traditionally where you want to try to attack Adolis with 2 strikes, is that just right below the letter spot. He has kind of a hole up there.
Turner at third, 2 out. And the 1-2 from Chris Sale is downstairs. Count evens 2-2. Garcia, who is an all-star during that World Series run in 2023 in Texas, was monster in the postseason. LCS MVP, walk-off home run in Game 1 of the World Series, but below average hitter in the 2 years since then. And so the Phillies are hoping for a resurgence from him here. On this 2-2 pitch, fouls it off and will do it again. They've loved having him, though. We asked Rob Thompson about Adolis Garcia, and he lit up. He said, what an awesome guy. And you never know what you're going to get when you bring a guy from the outside, but he's fit right in. He's played great defense for him so far. They're just looking for that bat to get going. Another 2-2 from Sale.
It's a good foul off. His slider's looking a lot sharper than I've seen him his first 4 starts. This is the best I've seen his slider this year.
3-1 over those first 4 starts is really good against Cleveland on Sunday. Before that, you almost never see from Chris Sale. He gave up 6 runs, just totally lost his command. Tries again with another 2-2, and it's gone full on Garcia. JT Realmuto waits on deck. Phillies looking for their first run of the weekend. The 8th pitch from Sale. Garcia fouls it off and will do it again. Not necessarily the reputation that Adolis Garcia brings with him from Texas. Long at bats, fouling off several pitches. The 9th one coming.
Will he throw him a slider? 3-2. That's the ultimate cat and mouse. Will Chris Sale finally throw him a slider and try to get him to chase right here?
Here he comes. He did, and it was corked foul. He just can't get anything by him right now.
All right, so you throw the fastball kind of middle out over. He fouls it away over the first base dugout. Then you throw him a slider in.
Throw him another one.
I'm thinking fastball right on his knuckles right here.
I'm throwing slider back foot again. I don't think he can lay off of it, but I want it out of the strike zone. That last one was too close. I almost wanted to hit him in the back knee.
Coming in.
See, he gets that in. He
missed.
gets that in. It's a ground ball to second. Broken bat.
See, he's got him sped up now. I still feel like he's sped up. If he could somehow bounce a slider, which I'm sure he's trying.
He took it though. He tried.
Yeah, but now he's got him in swing mode. He's swinging and he's swinging and he's swinging. That's when you can throw it back.
It's the longest at bat for Adolis Garcia in 4 years, and it's coming against Chris Sale of all guys. Missed with the fastball, and it turns into a walk. That's impressive stuff. So 21 pitches in this first inning, and they'd love to cash in, but the damage done in terms of that pitch count. And here's JT Realmuto, hitting .292 so far this year. Back with the Phillies his 8th season. Time has flown coming over from Miami. 8 seasons and back in a new contract. He's got Turner at third and Garcia at first. Chris Sale, when he's at his best, gets as much swing and miss as anybody. Led the league in strikeout rate last year. That swing and miss rate is the lowest it's been in his 16 seasons in the majors. Saw it show up against Garcia, couldn't put him away. Now pop fly, back of the diamond. Albies is out, White is on. I don't know if he can find it. Lucky for them, Jorge Mateo did. There were 3 guys and one of them found it. Thankfully for the Braves, that's all they need. Yeah. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, a grand slam for your budget. On this date in 1987, Mike Schmidt connected on his 50th career home run. Became the 14th guy in Major League history to reach that mark. The top of the second we go in Philadelphia. Joe Davis, Adam Wainwright, A.J. Pierzynski, and Austin Riley to lead things off against Christopher Sanchez. Hammers this one on the ground through the left side, and a leadoff base hit for Riley. Picks up right where he left off last night with a 2-home run game, and is aboard to open the second inning.
What new for Austin Riley, not only against Christopher Sanchez, but also against the Phillies. He's just been swinging.
We were talking with Walt Weiss about him before the game, and he said we've seen it through the years, not as many times the last couple years as he's dealt with injuries, but when he gets hot, he can be as good as any hitter in the league. Leadoff man aboard, Mauricio Dubon is up. Now, the Braves didn't do a ton this offseason, but on the fringes of the roster, Alex Anthopoulos did an amazing job going out and getting veteran players like Mauricio Dubon, Yastrzemski, Mateo, who's in the lineup today, Dominic Smith, who's been a revelation. Those guys all in their 30s. You put them together, they're hitting above 300. They've had huge home runs, and this team just feels more well equipped to handle the rigors of a long season. Here's an 0-2 to Dubon.
Ball.
Would have been inside, ball 1. Dominic Smith got the last spot on the roster. Seems like every time they need a big hit, he's got it for him.
And don't forget about the starting pitchers they brought in with the injuries they had. Martin Perez, who pitched great. Their bullpen, who they obviously Suarez is the headliner, but they did a lot of fringe moves, and they've all worked so far.
Wave and a miss from Dubon, and Sanchez has his first strikeout.
Dom Smith had that grand slam that we did.
You know what they're calling Dom Smith in South Georgia? Bomb Smith. That's what they're calling him.
Well, that's why he's not in the lineup right there, because of that changeup from Christopher Sanchez. Just
one gone in the second inning. Eli White getting the start in center field for Michael Harris today. He takes strike 1 from Sanchez. The Braves last year missed the playoffs for the first time since 2017. Their injuries all year. They were the worst team in the National League in one-run games, and it was over before it even got started. They started the season 0-7 and just never really recovered. Here's a bouncing ball to short. Charging Turner. His only play is at first, 2 out. Well, you talk about flipping that on its head to go from starting one season 0-7 to the #1 run differential in baseball through 20 games this year.
It wasn't fair. They had to fly from Florida to San Diego and LA for their first 7 games. That just doesn't seem like scheduling well for them. And they also had injuries. They didn't play very well. They get off to that start. They played catch up the whole year. And then this year they've just clicked.
Imagine they used to be in the NL West.
Oh, yeah.
That had to be brutal travel.
Jonah Heim takes downstairs for a ball. And it's the Phillies coming at it from that side of things this year with this disappointing 8-11 start. You got people talk radio calling for Rob Thompson's job. You got people wondering, are they going to be able to fix this? It's a strike. So is this a bad start, or are there concerns here for the Phils? And I know 2 outs here, but we got a whole night to talk about.
I have an opinion on this. I think the National League is letting them kind of sail by and not really taking advantage of this slow start. If you look at the Phillies analytically, they're like 13th in every category. But they're only 3 games under 500 right now. None of their big dogs they've got going. They're about to get Zach Wheeler back. I mean, they're about to get a lot of swag really quick. If the other teams in the National League, especially in the East, if they don't take advantage of this really downtime for the Phillies, it's going to be trouble.
Well, we talk about the Braves having the best run differential in baseball. The Phillies have the worst. Riley at second, 2 out. Sanchez trying to pitch around the leadoff single. Here's his 1-2 to Jonah Heim. Changeup taken, 2-2. Not the first time the Phillies have gotten off to a slow start. Rob Thompson was talking today about that 2003 season where they were 0-4 out of the gates. They at 19 games sat with an identical record to this one at 8-11 and wound up making the playoffs. 2-2. Heim fouls it off.
The other side, the Braves in 2019 they won the World Series. 21 sorry, 2021 they won the World Series. At the halfway point they were either sub 500 or right at 500. They went out and made a couple of deals. They won the World Series. It's way too early to call it right now.
Ball. A little bit inside and the count goes full. And if you're the Phillies, the one thing you have going for you, you're not the Mets.
It's not fair, Joe.
Cow.
There's Mets fans watching. Joe doesn't hate you that bad. But bring that up, Joe. That's been rough. That's been rough.
10th consecutive loss today. As that's fouled into the glove for strike 3. That is that changeup to Christopher Sanchez. Uses it to get out of the leadoff single without damage.
Extended spring, not with any affiliate, goes to AA eventually, becomes the Eastern League Player of the Year, tears it up in AAA this year, and here he is.
Cool.
Welcome back to Philadelphia. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, scan the QR code or go to playball.org and follow @playball on social media. Chris Sale to Alec Boehm, who pops up the first pitch, and his frustrations continue. He is now 1 for his last 28. Not a fun town to slump in as they let him hear about it. And Felix Reyes comes up to the plate for his major league debut. "25 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. Hoping for a jolt from him, tearing it up in AAA, tore it up in the minors last year. Rob Thompson says this guy can flat out hit. And his first career at bat comes against Chris Sale. Kenny's quite a rise to the majors here for Reyes.
Amazing backstory, Joe. He ends 2024 in High A, but starts last season in extended spring training, not with any affiliate. Eventually gets to AA, becomes the Eastern League Player of the Year. And as you said, he started this season in AAA after a big spring, had 1,000 OPS at AAA, and now a year after being in extended spring training, here he is.
And he's got a shot to make an impact and make a name for himself here with the Phillies searching for somebody to give him that spark. Drives the ball the other way towards the corner. In his first big league at bat, he's hit it out. Felix Reyes, welcome to your dream. A year removed from extended spring training, not having a minor league affiliate that they were comfortable starting him at, Felix Reyes has taken Chris Sale deep in his first at-bat in the major leagues.
You mentioned the spark. Is that the spark that finally gets his Philly offense going? 2-0 pitch from Chris Sale out over the plate. Hits it to right. What a dream come true. Your first big league at bat off a guy going to the Hall of Fame is a home run. The opposite way, too.
Right? What'd you do in your first at bat?
I grounded out. I was so happy. Never been so happy to ground out in my life.
Takes a real man to hit a home run their first at bat, AJ.
Oh, did you do that?
Sorry about it.
I mean,
oh, I'd love to see it.
We've called Ohtani the second coming of Adam Wainwright. Edmundo Sosa with a short at bat.
Got a fastball middle. Was it middle-in-ish?
no, it was away. It was up and away.
Yeah, it was kind of out over it, and he took it where it was pitched. And in this park, with that short fence in right field, that's going to play really well here. He is not a small man either.
Rob Thompson was telling us, so don't let that deceive you. Really good athlete, can really run. He's moved from the infield to the outfield to try and take better advantage of that athleticism. 2 outs for Marsh, and he takes away 1-0.
I just wonder how you lose your helmet on a home run. Running around, you're not running fast unless you're Adam Rosales running around 1,000,000 miles an hour. Most of the time you take a home run, and I mean there was a fist pump, so maybe we need to.
Anybody I've seen that wears the hair thing,
the headband thing.
Yeah, the helmet always comes off every time.
He's done it on every one of his major league home runs, so maybe it's just his thing, you know.
But you know, his first at bat, first pitch, really close, takes it. Slider, takes it, got into a good count.
Overexcited. I get it. It's your first big league homer, your first big league at bat.
I still think it should be a thing. I hope he's got a bunch more of them, and who needs the helmet for the trip around the bases? Marsh is retired. The inning is over. The spark is provided. Felix Reyes, first at bat in the big leagues, has a home run, and the Phillies have the lead on Baseball Night in America. Instant legend Felix Reyes greeted to a standing ovation out there in left field. Think he can feel his legs?
No.
He lets him know how much it means to him as Jorge Mateo leads off this third for the Braves and takes a strike from Christopher Sanchez.
There were some tears in his eyes. He was
even coming up to the plate. It looked like he was starting to get emotional.
It's everyone's dream if you play baseball from a young age to make it to the major leagues and then to go deep.
1-2 on Mateo and Dave Dombrowski. I figure this is the right move today. Call him up. I had a feeling. And you know, I would figure, guys, you're sitting there in the clubhouse and you know that it's a long year, but 8-11 with the expectations that there always are in this city and with a team with this many good pieces on it, it's got to be a bit tight in there, doesn't it? And couldn't something like this inject a little bit of life into you?
Absolutely. That's when you said they're looking for a jolt. There was a jolt for you, and the crowd went crazy. The crowd's giving him a standing ovation. He takes it left field. Sometimes young guys, they just bring a different energy into the clubhouse.
Ball.
Everything's new, Joe. Everything is new to these guys. Wow, wow. It's a constant wow. Look at this. Wow, we get these great food. We get this great uniform. And sometimes it makes veterans look back and say, wow, I missed that feeling.
Strike three on the inside corner and a challenge from Mateo.
The batter is challenging the strike call.
The Braves are the worst challenging team in the majors so far. They've lost 13 of the 17. That's only the 5th one they've gotten right out of the 18 from their hitters.
Atlanta has 2 challengers remaining.
Cunha especially has been challenging just about everything and not getting any of them right.
Big fan of the ABS. Big fan of it.
Me too.
Eventually down on strikes anyways.
Ball never lies. That must have been a strike, AJ.
Not according to the computer.
The box was off. And after that good fastball, there's that. That's actually his old grip and his slider. He's changed his grip on his slider. He's throwing really more of a tight curveball now. That was his grip from last year right there. More of a traditional slider. He uses that back door.
This is with his first one to Acuna.
Nope, that's actually his new one. See how he's got his fingers kind of spike. It's almost like a little short spike curveball right there. And that's got a lot more north south than his old one. But he's still using the same way, back door, back foot.
How often are you tweaking grips?
When they don't work anymore.
The league tells you when to?
Well, I think last year, if you looked at his fastball changeup combination, it was elite. The pitch that he needed to work on, which he did, he went to the workshop. He changed his grip to get more of a north-south, something he could control better, but also something that was going to be biting and strike out more. More swing and miss. He needed a little more swing and miss on his breaking ball, and he's got that. This year he's got 4 more inches of vertical break on his curveball slider thing than he did last year.
That's one of the reasons, or emblematic of one of the reasons why the Phillies keep extending him, because he's shown an ability to pick something to get better at and then go and do it. This guy has improved so much. Strikes out Acuna, who's going to give it another try here. Ronald is 2 for 7 in his challenges this year.
The batter's challenging the strike call.
Ooh, he gets this one right. Says, I'll show you, Joe Davis.
I don't know if James Hoy has a wider strike zone inside to righties, but he's called 2 of them now, and they've both been overturned. Now the Braves are saying, James, we're going to need you to move that about a ½ an inch over.
ABS, powered by T-Mobile's network. So now a 2-2 from Sanchez. Acuna swings and misses, and again, one pitch later, Sanchez sits him down anyways. He's struck out 4 of the last 5.
That's that nasty changeup right there. It's like leaving the grocery store. You got everything in the bag. The bag's wet at the bottom. Oh, man, you got a wet paper bag. The groceries fall over it. That's exactly what happens with his changeup. It looks just like his fastball, and it just drops off the table.
No, I should have double bagged it.
Exactly.
Baldwin here with 2 out. Grounds it sharply off of the mound into center. Base hit for Baldwin.
What makes that changeup so great is how similar it looks out of his hand, though. Everything is exactly the same as his fastball. Same exact release height, same exact release point, same spin, and then the changeup just disappears.
Chris Sale throws his slider more than anybody, and only Dylan Cease had more strikeouts on that pitch last year, and Christopher Sanchez throws his changeup more than anybody does. Here's Albies with 2 away. Slider misses. Didn't have that pitch until he got to the major leagues, that changeup of Christopher Sanchez. And he said he made a little change, talking about tweaking grips, made a little change to his sinker grip, and boom. Only Logan Webb's sinker or changeup drops more.
Yeah, and if you look at the maturity that he's shown over the last couple years, early when Christopher Sanchez came up, everything was out of control. His delivery was out of control. His pitches were out of control. He tightened up his delivery, and pitching coach Caleb said, man, he has locked that in. His delivery is so repeatable. That makes his pitches more repeatable.
But his first 2 years, Bueno, he got sent back and forth 12 times. He was just here to plug holes when they needed it. He could throw it as hard as anybody, but he had no idea where it was going. His ERA was around 6. Since the start of the 2023 season, he's got a 296. Skubal, Sale, Skeens, Sanchez.
Wow. And you see where he can use it, man. Ozzie Albies loves the ball down in the zone. So how do you get a guy who loves the ball down? You either got to exploit him up, right? Or you take it, you say, you like it down, I'll give it to you down, and you bounce it. And that's what we just saw him right there. How many changeups you see swung at that are on the plate, AJ?
Pass Sanchez to second, and Sosa, who lost the ball like a wet bar of soap, was popped out of his hand. And Phillies fans have seen too much of that over the first few weeks of this season.
That was weird. It was almost like he tried to, I don't want to say he tried to flip it from his glove to his bare hand, but I think he just missed it. Another changeup, Bueno, and it just maybe takes his eye, and then he tried to pop it to his bare hand and he missed it. He didn't do it on purpose. It just went there. And then Drake Baldwin coming in, Albies down the line. Just more pitches and another base runner.
Olsen trying to make him pay for it. He takes ball one. Back-to-back two-out base runners here, and now Olsen, who grounded out his first time.
Well, if I'm Sanchez, I'm staying away from the fastball. The Braves are 3 for 6 off that so far, and they're 0 for 6 off the changeup and slider. So you saw first pitch slider to Olsen. JT knows that behind the plate also.
The batter's challenging the strike.
I think this is going to be a strike.
I thought that looked pretty good too.
You guys are wrong.
Oh, wow.
You're a pitcher. That's why pitchers are not allowed to ever challenge.
Atlanta has 2 challenges remaining.
James always like, you got to be kidding me. That's 3 this inning.
This is not a great inning for
0.4
James.
inches. Close enough.
Nope. That's why pitchers are never allowed to challenge.
Oh man,
this is also like an ABS nightmare for an umpire, where it is by a hair, and now I got to be wrong.
well, think about it from his point of view and the angle that Sanchez comes in at. He's got a 30-degree arm angle. He's coming from not sidearm, but like pretty low, right? He's cross-firing it in there, even though he's on the third base side. He still gets over there pretty good. It just got to look like it's got to cross the plate at some point from his perspective.
Ball.
Oh, and it used to be umpires would call it at the front of the plate, but the way ABS judges is the middle of the plate. Does it cross there?
That's the only gripe I have with the ABS. It's not 3D. The strike zone's supposed to be 3D. So when you get to a 0.4 inch, and that's 8 inches to where they're measuring it from the front. Well, if he's throwing 6'6", 30-degree launch angle down, it's got to be a strike at the front of the plate. But because of where it's measured from, it's a ball. So
You don't have to tell me that.
I think Ken Rosenthal wrote the article. We could ask him if he was. That they said that umpires can be right, but they also can be wrong at the same time.
And also there's that room for error there for the actual technology, where it still could be off by a little bit.
I know the only thing that's right is pitchers should not be allowed to challenge. That's the only thing we've learned.
What do you say right there, and you go out for a pitch? Hey, you're doing fine. You're missing by 0.4 inches on all the sides. You know, just dial it in a half an inch.
Just a half an inch.
He's out of this inning a couple times over with a couple different calls there.
It looked like he's going to be out of this inning no problem. Back-to-back strikeouts to start it, but 3 straight two-out base runners, and the wrong guy to face here. Strike one, started him with a slider.
Love that pitch. Last at bat, first pitch fastball. Riley smoked it through the hole. Sanchez drops a little breaking ball in there to reset everything.
Now 1-0-1. Riley taps it gently left side. Won't be an easy play, and Sanchez has none. Somehow the Braves get a run out of this inning. Tied at 1 as Baldwin steps on home.
Sosa earlier takes a little bit of a funky hop. He's able to barehand that, and then this one's just a knock. This is a pitcher's worst nightmare. You're thinking, I made the pitch I wanted to. A little slip, and once he slipped, everyone's safe. But Braves haven't exactly smashed the ball this inning. They're just playing the ABS and putting them where good spots.
And that's even tougher for him because he's left-handed. Going that way, he's going to have to spin and throw. Right there, if you're right-handed, you run over to that ball, you can barehand it, you can pivot off your right foot and explode towards first. Right there, he's going to have to catch that. You see how he kind of tried to swat it with his glove because he knew he had to spin and throw right there if he was going to do it.
Dubon on 1-0. Off the end of the bat, shallow center field. It's trouble. It's down. What a nightmare of an inning for Philadelphia. The Braves have taken the lead. 2-run single for Mauricio Dubon. 5 consecutive two-out base runners. Dinking and dunking and challenging And forcing the boos out of these fans again.
Who says contact doesn't matter? Put it in play. That was a good pitch by Christopher Sanchez. Dubon right off the end of the bat. And perfect placement out there in the Bermuda Triangle. Sosa can't get there. Marsh can't get there. 2 more runs scored for Atlanta.
Combined the last 2 balls in play for 2 hits. Not even 100, I bet.
41 and 69. So
just off.
Just a little bit off. But close.
Point made, though.
Yes.
Ball on Eli White. So Sanchez strikes out Jorge Mateo. He strikes out Ronald Acuna. And suddenly there's an 8th man to bat in this inning. Sanchez's pitch count up above 50.
So it's tough, right? Like, you could have been out of the inning 5 different times, but as a starting pitcher, you have to put all that behind you. You have to make 1 pitch at a time. You can't get caught up in all the stuff that's already happened. You can't control that anymore.
It's got to be frustrating, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Half an inch, 4/10 of an inch, a 41-mile-an-hour 3-hopper that you slip on, an error, and then a blooper in the center field. How do you keep your composure?
He got what he always gets. He got those ground balls, but Phillies have not been able to turn him into that 3rd out. Here he comes with a 1-2 pitch, and the dirt. Good stop by Realmuto. These are the games the Phillies right now have to have. Christopher Sanchez has a 2 ERA, established as the guy at this point, still waiting on Zach Wheeler to come back. The rest of the rotation has a 6.60 ERA.
Well, you remember, it's a microcosm so far of the Phillies season. I feel like we showed the Braves, they're getting all the hits, they're getting all the breaks, they're scoring all the runs, they're getting the hits with runners in scoring position. And the Phillies scored their first run in almost 27 innings on the home run by a rookie in his first at bat. So it's kind of a microcosm of both seasons. Braves are getting all the breaks early. Phillies feel like they're not.
Runners get a head start on a 3-2 that's grounded to short. Turner will gobble this one up and throw him out to finish off what looked like a nothing inning, but then a 2-out burst aided by some sloppy Phillies play.
Well, Chris Sale back on the mound. What have you seen from him thus far?
It's typical Chris Sale. You know, he can step on the gas whenever he wants to. You know, even at this point in his career, he can go get upper 90s when the situation calls for it. So he's different. He's special.
You guys were in a challenging
the ball
that last
call.
half inning. What has been your approach, Walt, to when to challenge and when not to?
Yeah, look, I try to keep it as simple as possible because you can make it difficult if you want to. You know, basically, you know, I told the guys the lower the leverage, the more certainty you got to have. But at the end of the day, trust your eyes. You know, just trust your eyes. Don't overthink it.
Well, thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
All right, Kenny, that is another overturned challenge. That's the 4th one. Trey Turner leads off this inning against Sale.
James Hoy's going to start not liking the Braves. They keep challenging. They keep proving him wrong.
He's got 2 very tough angles to umpire today.
Flipped into left center field. Dubon back at first is under it to get Turner for the 1st out. Big move sponsored by Pods. Walt Weiss in his first season as the manager, taking over for Brian Snitker, and we know he's a big lifter, big weight room guy. We also know that he's tough, a black belt, and showed it off against one of the biggest, most fearsome men in the league in Jorge Soler last week. During this fight, planted him, textbook. Schwarber, 1-0.
I don't know how well known it is, but Walt Weiss is a legit UFC fighter. Like, not exaggerating. He has like 10,000 hours training UFC style Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu and all kinds of other ways. He is a baller.
And I mean, if you're not going to use it, then when are you going to use it? So sorry, Jorge.
You got to go low on Jorge Soler too.
And by the way, if you doubt that about Walt Weiss, he's got the cauliflower ears to go with it.
That's right.
I thought you were going to say if you doubt that about Walt Weiss, he'll do it to you.
No, I know better.
That's a strike, and it's 2-1. And the Falcons saw, they said, come put on the pad, Skip. Teaching tape tackle right there. So they're like an NFL tight end. Down the line, that's a fair ball for Schwarber. Ricochets right to Acuna, and he holds Schwarber to a single. Another foot to the left, and that's in the corner instead. It's a lead out, or it's a one-out hit.
This looked foul from up here, didn't it, AJ?
It was close, but from our angle, we don't have the best angle. That might have hit. It almost hit the base. Almost hit first base. Olsen, Sale are hoping it goes foul, but DJ Rayburn down there, he called it fair. Did you ever have the mound charged on you, Wayno? You never threw it at anybody. You're too nice.
Nobody wanted any of that.
That's what it was. Not barking up that tree.
Yeah, they looked out there and they're like, I'm not messing with that guy. They either thought he looks like a big wuss or he looks tough. One, two. Probably the first.
I said, I heard he was a football player, though. Staying away. And he homered in his first career at bat. No thanks. There's a 1-0 to Harper.
I had a combined 2 muscles my whole life, so I don't think anybody was real scared looking out there.
It is a crazy thing, though, when it happens. When it happens fast.
You were never involved in any kind of altercation, though, were you?
Never. I only had the mound charged once when I was catching, and it happened fast. And you have to go as the catcher. You have to go.
Who was your pitcher when the mound was charged?
DJ Carrasco. Miguel Olivo charged him out. The bases loaded.
Sales 2-1. Did he get hit with the bases loaded?
He got hit. He got hit the pitch before and he swung.
Oh.
And then he got hit the next pitch and he thought we were throwing at him with the base loaded, so he charged him out. I got him before he got to DJ. And DJ did not hit him, and I saw DJ in spring training. Like, DJ, please, why did you not
hit him as in punch him?
Yes. I go, he didn't come out there to hug you.
Harper lifts a fly ball towards the right field corner. Hooking. Foul.
The last 2 pitches, I want you to notice right here. Watch. Bryce is stepping out, but look where the location is. He gets it all the way away off the plate. This time right here, Bryce steps out, and he misses middle in right there. Bryce, he's really lucky Bryce pulled off that. Usually Bryce Harper hits that up there above the score bet sign.
Phillies' hottest hitter here in Harper. On 2-2. Fouls it again.
Yeah, but you know why he missed it and pulled the foul? It was the speed difference.
Yes.
Even though it was a mistake, it was so much slower than the fastballs. Remember, he blew him up inside the first at bat. So that one was a little bit slower. Bryce hooks it foul.
Got to think that's probably why he's pulling out a little bit too, huh? He just blew that first. He got him so aware of inside on his first at bat. Now he's got him stepping in the bucket.
Foul ground at third. Out of play.
It looks like if he could stick a heater down and away right here, it would be very tough for Bryce to cover it.
A pitch coming up from Sale to Harper, and already the 50th. This highly touted pitchers duel. Sale and Sanchez, both offenses have made opposing pitcher work. Another 2-2 from Sale. Look out. Harper, who has been hit up there one too many times throughout his career, dodges that. Count goes full.
You see, he's trying to go away. That's the second time we've seen him really try to get on a fastball and lose it arm side up.
Here's his payoff. Harper fouls it again.
Well, when Chris Sale was younger, he used to have a problem, and it wasn't intentional. He would get, like you said, he would try to get on it. He'd give up a home run and he'd try and get on. If there was a lefty up, it was an automatic slider. Because the next pitch was coming at their neck. And it wasn't on purpose. It was just because he was so mad.
Yeah.
And he was so fired up. So it was like, slider. It's a great at bat right here.
And that pitch is
great
middle.
at bat.
That pitch is middle, though. If he can get either the heater or the slider, if he can get it away from him, he's gonna get him to either roll over or swing and miss.
It's the 11th pitch. Chris Sale to Bryce Harper. Got him. Sale ties him up with that fastball. 2 gone in the 3rd. That's good stuff.
That looked like Chris just said, my stuff's better than your stuff. Here you go. Try to hit it.
Can't hit that pitch. 96 up. A little bit elevated from left on left from that angle. You got no chance. That's a really good at bat by Bryce Harper and a better pitch by Chris Sale,
who has struck out 4 over the first 3 innings. Garcia grounds one just foul. Garcia gathered a bunch of information against him the first time he saw him. Walked on 11 pitches, his longest at bat in 4 years.
Other than the Harper and the Garcia bat, Chris Sale's pitch count will be really under control.
Yeah, he's got 2 innings worth of pitches just to them.
Ball.
Schwarber takes his lead off first. Sale fires 1-1. Garcia swings and misses at the high fastball.
If he can throw his fastball right there, it's almost impossible to hit because of the angle. You talked about his lower angle and the spin he generates. Just see so many guys swing and miss at that ball. Belt, a little bit above the belt, out over the plate too.
Yeah, you want it with Adolis. You want it to look. You want it to look tasty. You want him to offer that pitch up because he doesn't really love it up there, but he thinks he does. So you want him to light up. You want his eyes to get big and just not be able to cover it.
Shot to right field. Acuna will get there, make an awkward catch, but a catch nonetheless. And after 3 innings in Philadelphia, a 3-1 lead for Atlanta, looking for a 4th consecutive win. Podcast is sponsored by Freestyle Libre. Video of AJ not charging the mound or keeping somebody from charging the mound, but of catching a no-hitter on this date in 2007. Mark Burley, who was a walk against Sammy Sosa away from a perfect game.
Yeah. Never threw or caught it.
Or caught, yeah.
Yes. And by the way, as a catcher, that is the proudest moment you can have as a catcher, to get a pitcher through 27 outs with nobody getting a hit is the greatest accomplishment. So congratulations, Mark. And I got a cool watch and a bunch of other stuff out of it.
I didn't hear what you said about me before it, but I don't like it.
You didn't throw a no-hitter,
no.
nor did you catch a no-hitter. And you never had frosted tips like in that video either.
I actually did have frosted tips in high school. Not
Didn't we all?
Just because I bleached everything and let it grow out. It was
yes. I know Joe's never had frosted tips.
I actually did, like, just dyed the top. I don't know what my parents are doing letting me do that. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Heim. And I, you know, kind of black hair, so it didn't take well. I had just a gold top of my head. It was hot. Heim swings and misses at that changeup for the first out of the 4th inning. And the 5th strikeout for Sanchez. What we got up here, boys?
Sanchez
sliders.
But this.
Yeah, that's
this is where it's at. Schwarbaum Sunday.
What is the fried thing?
Uncrustable.
With fried Uncrustable.
Fruity Pebbles and vanilla soft serve. I know we have Frankie 2 scoops in the media dining room, but this might top them today.
Frankie's looking over his shoulder. You bring in items like that.
Frankie gave me 3 scoops tonight.
Wow, Frankie 2 scoops made it 3.
Yeah, he leveled up tonight. He only gave Wayne a 2.5.
I got 2.5 scoops.
Bad.
But this Sanchez slider is legit also. But
strawberry
pebbles on the top?
Yes, and strawberry spread. I don't know what you call it. Joe, what do you call that?
He doesn't know. He eats Brussels sprouts. He doesn't know.
He had grilled chicken while we were having 2 scoops.
Mateo slaps this one to first. Backhand by Bryce Harper. He feeds Sanchez. Races to the bag. 2 out.
So far today, my big question mark about each of these great left-handed pitchers: Sale, his slider; Sanchez, his changeup and his new curveball. But really, his changeup has been kind of his, if you can believe it, like he's been missing the last couple games a little bit more than he wanted to. Both pitchers have come to play with their secondary pitches today. Very, very good stuff tonight.
Back to the top of the order here in Ronald Acuna. This is how last inning started for Sanchez. Retired the first 2, no problem, but then 5 consecutive 2-out base runners, and the Braves took the lead. You're talking about this being a microcosm of these 2 team seasons. That inning, a microcosm of the pitching for the Phillies this year. Hit hard past the diving Turner into left center field, and a 2-out hit for Acuna as the Braves try to do it again here. You know, the Phillies, as a pitching staff, have the #1 strikeout rate. They have the fewest walks, yet they have what would be the highest batting average on balls in play in baseball history. And so you got a +5 ERA. And dink and dunk and more that last inning has them pulling their hair out. 357 batting average on balls in play. That's 30 points higher than the next team, 60 points higher than the major league average. That points to a lot of bad luck, and typically that number evens out as the season goes on.
Yes, but also the 3 runs in the 3rd inning were unearned because of the error.
Going 2 on Baldwin. It's Baldwin, who started the rally last inning, came in to score the tying run.
You know, you said that those are unearned, AJ, but as a starting pitcher, you pride yourself in getting out of those innings after your fielder made an error. It wasn't really anything he could have done about it, though.
Acuna runs on strike 3. And so 6 Ks for Sanchez. Offense try to get things cranked up for him. Take home a piece of the game. Bid on game used jerseys, baseballs, bases, and more at auctions.com or auctions.mlb.com. JT Realmuto leads off the 4th for the Phillies, and Chris Sale spins in a strike. Phillies got a run in the 2nd inning and a home run from Felix Reyes in his first major league at bat. The Braves answered back with 3 in the 3rd. 3-game winning streak for the Braves, 3-game losing streak for the Phillies. 0-2 on Realmuto. Chris Sale, who came to the Braves in 2024 thinking that might be his last season, wins Cy Young, comes back as another great year last year before he got hurt. And a guy that was thinking that he was finished a couple years ago just signed an extension during spring training, guarantees next year. There's a team option for the year after that. He's performed, and no matter who you talk to, this is a guy that is admired. It's 0-2. Somehow Realmuto gets up on top of that ball and flies it to left, but Dubon will put it away. Well, 1 gone in the 4th inning, and we take a look at our pitcher profile sponsored by Wendy's. The numbers tell you one thing, but this guy unanimously, no matter what clubhouse he's been in, his teammates, AJ, and you were one of the first to see this, adore him.
He's great. He's a competitor. He takes the ball when he can. He always is the same guy every day, pitching or not pitching. And he learned. We showed Mark Burley earlier. He learned from Mark Burley his first couple years on how to be a pro. He never shakes off the catcher. He's prepared. He works. He's just a good teammate and a great professional baseball player that's going to be in Cooperstown one day.
I mentioned him getting hurt last year. That was in the 9th inning as he was trying to finish off a complete game. Made a diving play, broke his ribs doing that. Missed 10 weeks and still hurried back, even though the Braves were out of it. That's just the kind of guy he is. Brian Snitker said about him, he's the least diva superstar that he's ever been around.
And he also has some great stories. If you've ever seen the highlight of him beating up the TV in AAA, awesome. Chris Sale. cutting up the uniforms in Chicago. Awesome. Chris Sale.
Bounce it down to third. Routine for Riley. 2 up and 2 down in the fourth.
You like him because he doesn't shake the catcher.
Oh, yes. Well, obviously. But he brings the intensity, and the only thing Chris Sale cares about is winning the game. He wants to win the game. He just wants, whether he's pitching, not pitching, he wants him to win the game, and he wants his team to win the game even more when he's not pitching. He's just the ultimate team guy. He came over and gave me a hug today, and I was like, dude, you're pitching today. Stay away. He's like, we'll be okay.
Faces the best thing about the Phillies tonight. And Felix Reyes flies this one to center field. And White will make the catch and end the first 1, 2, 3 and into the game.
Game, just tell Siri, add hot dogs to my grocery list.
3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Braves with a 3-1 lead here in the top of the 5th inning. Christopher Sanchez, Ozzie Albies, who flexes one over first, and there is another soft base hit paper cut against the Phillies staff. Albies throws on the brakes as Garcia with his cannon gets to that ball. Man, oh man. How you feeling if you're Christopher Sanchez?
There's just nothing you can do other than keep making pitches. His stuff is good tonight. He's made quality pitches all night long. He's made big pitches in big spots a few times.
More of the slider than we're used to seeing him throw. That sinker usage way down. Matt Olson fouls off his first pitch. Walk and a run scored during that 3-run rally in the third for Olson. It was now reached in 18 straight games. All about streaks with this guy. Let's check in with Kenny.
Joe, we talked about Matt Olson playing his 803rd consecutive game tonight. Well, he's 31% of the way to Cal Ripken. Got 11 years to go. Olson knows that record is never going to be touched, and he's not going for it. Still, his preference is to play. He said, if Walt Weiss came in and wanted me to take a day off, I wouldn't totally fight him on it, but I hope he doesn't do that.
Second longest streak this century. It's the 11th longest streak in Major League history. Has not missed a game since 2021. Matt Olson.
He wouldn't fight Walt Weiss. We already talked about that.
That's true. Weiss had maybe a DH day here and there, but said, I don't want to be the guy to mess that one up. Sanchez to Olson with a 1-2 pitch. Olson swings and misses. There's already strikeout number 7 for Sanchez.
Sanchez has thrown the ball really well.
Yeah.
Literally the soft hits in the air have been his undoing, and he's only given up 3 unearned runs. But other than that, he has been pretty locked in. Good changeup, fastballs when he's needed. He's kept the Braves off balance. He's been impressive.
Austin Riley, after his 2-home-run game yesterday, 2 for 2 today, takes ball 1 and a changeup. And Sanchez, it seems like, has gotten to that point of his career where even on the nights where stuff goes wrong against him, he still gets deep into games. He averaged over 6 innings a start last year, the best in baseball.
That changeup right there, that's his 11th swing and miss on 19 swings. It's 11th swing and miss,
which is pretty much the rate that it always is.
It's a little even above what it is normally, which is normally about 50%, which is just an astronomically high swing and miss rate on a changeup.
Any pitch, unless you're Mason Miller.
Tarek Skubal has a changeup that's kind of close to that. Mason Miller's everything is kind of like that.
Yeah, every pitch is swing and miss.
Fly to right field. Garcia went back at first. Now charges to the foul line and makes the catch. Back to first goes Albies. So 7 Ks tonight for Christopher Sanchez, who has dealt with the dinking and dunking, but still has racked up the Ks.
You can see it. He's using that secondary stuff tonight. Changeup, big breaking ball compared to what he used to do. Has he got a fastball? I don't even know if he has a fastball strikeout. It's all secondary. That last one, yeah. It's all secondary stuff for the most part. But his body is under control. His timing of his delivery, when the foot gets down, the arms up, it looks good.
Comes home to Mauricio Dubon, who flies one to right field. Garcia to the corner. Does he have room? He does. And we're halfway home in Philly. The Braves 3, the Phillies 1. Team Leaders is sponsored by Applebee's. Taking a look around the league, and who had Andy Pages leading the National League in the Major League batting race over the first month of the year at .412. The guy who made his name with the catch in Game 7 last year, but prior to that had made his name by getting benched. The bat was so lifeless in the postseason. Andy Pages back in a big way. Dodgers with a 3-1 lead over the Rockies. If they win that game, they would join the 1922 New York Giants as the only reigning champion to win 16 of 20 to start the next year. Raymundo Sosa chops it foul, and he's down 0-2.
Say what you want about Andy Pages, but he did make one of the catches that saved the Dodgers season last year on top of Kike Hernandez in left center field.
It's
literally.
If he doesn't, yeah.
Yeah. So we saw this in the first half. Not this, but we saw the talent in the first half last year. And he fell off in the second half. Now, can he keep it going?
Somehow Sosa puts this in place. Sale with a jump throw and a heck of an effort, but it's an infield hit. And the Phillies giving the Braves some of their own medicine.
This is a heck of a play by Chris. I might actually have to call him after the game and say, wow.
He's a Gold Glover. This is a guy, he won in 24. He won the Gold Glove. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier, though. Because he's left-handed, this is way complicated. And he makes an incredible throw, a jump throw where he has to spin. If he's right-handed, he catches it, pushes off his right foot, and right away he gets a good throw to first. Or probably if he's right-handed, he throws it down the line because we always thought we could make that play and never did. But that right there, AJ, that is an incredibly complex play, and he made it look easy. Best athletes on the field.
Catchers, you're right. That's why the catcher's out there giving him a breather. It was a hit, it was a knock, but it was a great effort.
I mean, if that's not Sosa running, he's out. I mean, he's a really fast runner. Great play.
The Phillies for the chance here. The leadoff man on. Brandon Marsh at the plate, and the top of the order after him. This is Sanchez.
See what? Yeah. Okay. So you see, he's already getting his hips kind of turned because he knows he's got to do it. But Chris just keeps going. It's unbelievable. To get that amount of steam on the throw too was incredible.
37 years old, 6 feet 6 inches, all those moving parts, still doing it.
Ball.
Wearing the number 51 of his hero, Randy Johnson. He's 6'10", the big unit.
No, he's wearing it because I was 15, so he wanted 15. Someone else probably has it, so he just wanted to honor me when we played for the Braves.
A lot of similarities with him and Randy Johnson.
Ground ball to short, should be 2. Taking it right to the bag is Mateo, and he fires over to first, a double play. Well, that was the guy always for Sale that he, seeing that, a big, tall left-hander that he grew up wanting to be. White Sox had a left-hander debut the other day, 6'10", left-hander.
Noah Schultz.
Yeah.
From Chicago, too. He's more, to me, he's more similar to Randy Johnson than Chris Sale was. Chris Sale never really had a problem throwing strikes. Randy Johnson came up having a hard time throwing strikes. Noah Schultz, the one knock on him in his minor league career is he's punched out the world, but he's had a hard time 6'10", getting everything in to sync to throw enough strikes to get to the big league level. Chris Sale has more of the actual arm action of Randy Johnson. If you never faced Randy Johnson, it was a fun at bat as a lefty.
Oof. Ball. You feel like that ball's coming from behind you?
It started behind you, and he was mean too. So you knew if you did something, the next one could. Ask Kenny Lofton about stuff like that. It was not. It wasn't one of those bats where you went up there and said, all right, well, I might try and bunt here because the next one you might not get back.
Well, Sale's got some of that persona to him.
He does, but not. I don't think amongst players though he has the. I don't want to call him a headhunter because that's not what Randy Johnson or Pedro Martinez. It was just they didn't put up with any junk. There was no junk. If you tried something, they'd let you know right away. And obviously the game's changed now for the better.
Yeah, relative to this era, though, I think he's probably as intimidating as anybody.
Yes. That pitch right there was intimidating. See Trey Turner almost swinging the ball, hit him in the back leg.
Trey's 1 for 2 today. On this 3-1 pitch, fouls it off, 3-2. The beard helps a little bit. A little scruff there. The baby-faced kid that broke in with you with the White Sox a few days after he had been drafted.
Had some sideburns back then. He just had sideburns.
Who didn't?
I didn't.
No, you had the tips.
Yeah.
Payoff. Down the line, Olsen is over. He has room to make an over-the-shoulder catch to end the 5th. Well, the fastest racing on earth hits the West Coast in the streets of Long Beach. Stars of IndyCar with the road to the Indy 500 continuing tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern, only on Fox. Braves up 3-1. We move on to the 6th inning, and Eli White leads off for Atlanta. Christopher Sanchez pours in a strike, and Sanchez way better tonight than the line is going to indicate.
Yeah, only 4 of the 16 balls that have been put in play have been hard hit balls. I mean, he has given up a lot of soft contact, a couple of bloobs, a couple of infield hits.
So the soft one to right field for Garcia.
And that's what happens when you make good pitches. You know, they don't often go out there and hit balls 95 plus on balls that are well located. He's located his pitches. He's mixed and matched. Couple of tough plays, couple of unfortunate hits, but he's been solid.
29 years of age, from the Dominican Republic. They signed him to an extension a few years back and then redid that one this offseason after he had the career year last year. Riley, or Heim, hooks his ball down into the left field corner, and it's off of the wall. Heim's headed for second. Throw from Reyes, a homer in his debut, and nearly an outfield assist. Heim's got a diving double.
That's why catchers are the best athletes. Look at him run. Look at the catcher get the leg out the double. But you mentioned the balls that have been hit hard off Sanchez. That was one of them. He's got a ton of ground balls tonight. This is a nice play by Reyes. Plays the ball for the first time perfectly. Makes a really good throw, just a little bit offline, and kind of Sosa missed the tag. He actually tagged the base. If you watch, he tags the base right there instead of Heim.
Strike on Mateo.
And one of those hard hit balls off Sanchez, by the way, was a home run that got robbed. So the soft ones have been hits, and the hard hit ones have been caught sometimes for outs.
Good stop by Real Muto. This has always kind of been the case for him against Atlanta. He's tended to pitch pretty well, but has never beaten the Braves. This is his 8th game against Atlanta. He's 0-3.
Really?
3.5 ERA. Not gotten any run support against him. Dealing with the same demon tonight. Mateo, who's 0 for 2 in his first season in Atlanta, coming over from Baltimore. Getting his first start in about a week. The last time that Walt Weiss started him, he went 4 for 4.
So you earn yourself another chance to play a week later.
Yeah, right.
Normally you go 4 for 4, you play the next day.
It's like Little League. You'll be in there next weekend. Started his career with the Padres, then he went to the Orioles, made his name as a stolen base guy. Never really locked onto a full-time spot there. Part of the depth that Atlanta has built up this year. On a 2-2 from Sanchez, Mateo tries to lay off the change, but like so many hitters, fails to. And another strikeout for Christopher Sanchez, his 8th tonight.
This really is a masterful pitching job by Christopher Sanchez. I know the score doesn't say it, but the way he's used his fastball down to set up these changeups in the dirt has been really fun to watch.
Two outs for Acuna. 1 for 3 today. This close to being 2 for 3 with a home run on the very first pitch of the ball game. He got robbed by Brandon Marsh. Still just 1 home run this year. So the Braves are off to this rollicking start at 13-7 with the top run scoring team in baseball, even though their biggest star in Acuna hasn't totally caught fire.
Ball.
2-0.
That's a big pitch right here. You go change up. You have to go change up here, right? You can't challenge it with the heater.
If you do throw a heater, it has to be in. Cannot be out over the plate.
Change.
He just loves to get extended, and unless you establish that fastball in, he is not getting off out over the plate. That was a good pitch.
I'm at second, 2 out. 2-1 pitch. Acuna fouls it off. 2-2. Fouls the changeup with a slider.
See, the timing of his delivery has been spot on today. Caleb Coffin told me before the game, if that head turns at the proper time, it allows everything to be on time.
Again, you got to throw a changeup here, 3-2, right? Lefty on deck.
He's got a he does have a big hole. Now this is not Sanchez's strength, but he does have a big hole up and in right here. But that's not what he's going to do.
As a catcher, as a former catcher, if you get beat with a changeup right here, you go in the pitching coach, say, "Hey man, we threw his best pitch."
That's right. That's right.
Here's the payoff. Acuna grounds a changeup left side. Bohm with a running throw, and they get Acuna to finish off the 6th. 3-1 game. Back in a moment. MLB Plus is new for 2026. You can stream MLB Network 24/7 in the U.S. and select out-of-market games every week. Plus get live radio broadcasts of every game and plenty more. Kyle Schwarber leads off for the Phillies here in the bottom of the 6th. Just the 1 run on a home run from Felix Reyes. 2, 3, and 4 here against Sale. Started him with a breaking pitch. Missed inside. Schwarber's 1 for 2 in this ball game. He had 2 home runs on Monday against the Cubs. He's just 2 for 14 since with 8 strikeouts. And if the Phillies offense is going to get going, their big stars at the top are going to have to be the ones that do it. 2-0. Phillies only 6 runs during the 3-game losing streak, and Sale holding them to 1 tonight. Schwarber jumps out of the way of a strike. 2-1. What do you guys see with this Phillies offense?
Just nothing. There's no spark. There's nothing happening. They don't string hits together. They do get the chance. They can't get the big hit. They're not hitting for a ton of power. And the only RBI they have in over 3 games is from a guy who was in AAA this morning. So it's just not a lot of energy. And listen, it's hard to have energy when you're not hitting. I understand that. They have one of the best hitting coaches in the game, Kevin Long. They have Don Mattingly, who should be in the Hall of Fame, but he's not, as one of the best hitters ever. These guys are working. You see them out here working. You see them out here hitting early. They just need one thing to go right. And when you're in a streak like this, you just need one thing. Whatever, comeback win. Whatever that one thing is that can get the team united and on the same page and going.
They've been so good for so many years. I think part of the frustration here in Philadelphia is it's fear as much as anything. They're seeing this group getting older, 8-11. I know it's only 19 games, but they're starting to stoke those fears of, are we going to miss our chance to win it all with this core group?
Well, they've had a couple of really good chances to do that. Close calls. For me, the bottom half of the order, I think the top's going to come around, no question.
Swinging bunt, rolled to Sale. Away.
The bottom of the order is going to have to produce. And Alec Bohm, I know he's 1 for his last 30, whatever. That just means you're closer to getting hot. If you believe in your guy, right? I'm an optimist. I'm just looking at it from a Philly perspective. He's got to produce. He had a very slow start last year, came around in month 2. So you're looking for him to have a big May probably. But the bottom half of the order, if I'm looking at this as a pitcher, it's very pitchable right now. They're going to have to produce.
There's Harper fouling one off. Aren't you picking up the lineup card? I know you circle a guy or two. You're circling Bryce Harper, and you're saying, I get through him, I'm good at this point.
You're confident. You're very confident going into it. You know.
Also, you don't want to face Chris Sale when you're in a rut. The way he's pitching, the way he's pitched against the Phillies, especially in this ballpark in his career, and the way he can throw that pitch. This is not the guy you want to run into when you're not scoring runs.
Yeah, especially Chris Sale, but anybody who's left-handed.
Yeah,
Phillies want to stay away from it.
Martin Perez did it to him last night.
Phillies hitting 179 against left-handed pitching, 2-7 against left-handed starters.
All right, but for that pitch, like you said, the way he can throw that pitch. Last start, 6 for 12, 2 doubles. He did have a couple of strikeouts, but 6 for 12 off that slider his last start. Tonight, coming into this inning, they were 0 for 7 with 4 strikeouts. I mean, that's a tremendous difference.
Jose Alvarado's getting ready. Harper takes strike 3 on a fastball. Thinking about the slider?
No, that's the pitch. Remember earlier when he had the 10 or 11 pitch at bat, that was the pitch he knew. He knew if he could throw that pitch down and away, he was going to freeze him. I called for it. He didn't listen to me, but he got him up top, remember? But that was the pitch. He had him so sped up inside. He threw those couple of front door breaking balls by accident. But if he could locate that ball down and away, it was a stick pitch all day long. It's tough.
Yeah.
2 outs. Ball on Adolis Garcia.
Also, you saw the swings from Harper on the sliders. His heart was in it, but his rear really wasn't. And then he sticks that one right at the bottomer of the strike zone. That's tough.
High pop fly, and the frustrations continue. Chris Sale, not a fun guy to face when you're trying to figure it out at the plate. A 1-2-3 6th inning and a 3-1 lead for Atlanta. Sponsored by Charles Schwab. It is 3-1 Atlanta. 3-run rally in the 3rd inning, all with 2 outs after Christopher Sanchez had retired the first 2 in that inning. A bunch of soft base hits, and the Braves took advantage of a 2-out error as well. To lead 3-1 to the top of the 7th inning we go. Joe Davis, Adam Wainwright, A.J. Brzezinski, and into the Phillies bullpen as Jose Alvarado takes over for Christopher Sanchez, and it has been a rough start for him.
Well, he throws 100 mile an hour with the sinker, but he's got to throw it over the plate, and JT Realmuto mysteriously is out of the game.
Realmuto's taken a couple foul balls off of the same spot on his foot over the last week. Drake Baldwin leads off, takes a strike. You wonder what's going on, because Realmuto is set to lead off next inning, and actually, as we asked that question, they've just announced here in the press box that Realmuto's left the game with tightness in his lower back. When it rains, it pours.
I just love watching Drake Baldwin hit. Old hockey player, tough as nails, catcher, but just rakes, covers the whole plate. There's really not a whole lot of places to go for a pitcher against him.
Breaks his bat on a roller to short. Turner's there for the first out of the 7th.
I just want to know how Jose Alvarado gets hit.
I do too.
He throws 100 with just a filthy sinker, and then he throws that little cutter at 90+ miles an hour, and he has a little curveball. But just the fact that he's a left-handed sinker baller that throws 100, he should never give up a hit.
A couple of years ago, he hardly did. Right, like a 1.70 ERA in 2023. Nine runs allowed, though, in his first 6 innings this year. One gone, top of the 7th. Ozzie Albies putting together another good night. He's been on base all 3 times, 2 hits, and then he reached on that key error on Edmundo Sosa in the 3rd. Switch hitter in his best years. He's been one of the best hitters against lefties, Ozzie Albies. Alvarado ahead 0-2. Biggest issue so far for Alvarado this year has been struggling to find the strike zone, but attacking it here. Another broken bat. Down to Bohm this time. 2 out.
Alvarado's going to have to send over. The Braves are going to have to send a bill over to Alvarado. That's two guys and 2 broken twigs.
Three-1 Braves. Up comes Matt Olson. Has walked to extend his on-base streak to 18 games. Still trying to extend his hitting streak, which sits at 10. Wave and a miss.
When he first came up, you could really pound Matt Olson inside with fastballs, cutters. He's done a lot better job this year and last of covering that ball in. And it's complicating things for pitchers. He used to be a lot of his juice would come middle out over the plate up. He's still a very good fastball up hitter, but he likes it more in now than he used to. It used to be a big hole in there.
Ball no.
I know you're getting your scouting reports ready when you're getting ready to face a lineup. You got your strike zone. You're picking your spots where you can go. You don't have as many of those little good circles anymore with them, do you?
Nope.
He's had 2-1. Alvarado looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Fly ball to right field sends Garcia back onto the warning track. He turns and watches it hit off the wall. Olson's got a 2-out double and an 11-game hitting streak.
That was kind of the one you were talking about right there.
Yeah.
A little bit of a not a hole inside anymore, and he just misses a home run. There you go, down and in. That's where you just were talking about, Wayno. A little bit in, and he misses a home run by just a few feet.
Nice and easy swing for a double from Olson. All kinds of noise. 2 outs in this game for Atlanta. Here's Austin Riley, who's 2 for 3. First pitch from Alvarado.
Ball.
Taken inside. Riley, who was one of the best hitters in the league for a few years span there. Perennial All-Star, MVP votes, but then he broke his hand. Hernia surgery last year. Healthy again, and he's looked really good the last few days especially. On this 1-0 pitch, Riley weaves and misses at a high fastball, and it's 1-1.
100. Woo. 100.
I'll tell you how you know Austin Riley's in a good place when he uses right center, and that's true of a lot of pitchers, or a lot of hitters, sorry. But yesterday, the home run to right center, that is his swing. When he's doing that, he's on time for everything else.
Didn't have a home run his first 13 games. He's hit 3 the last 2 after these 2 last night.
That's just a really good swing. It's a little breaking ball cutter and then another one out over the plate. If you're going, like you said, Wayne, if you're going deep to right field the opposite way, everything has to line up perfectly.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Riley swings and misses, and Alvarado's got a scoreless inning. We stretch in Philadelphia. 3-1 Atlanta. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Scan the QR code or visit MLBshop.com. Chris Sale, 88 pitches into the 7th inning for the first time this year. Rafael Marchand, who replaced Real Muto last inning. Real Muto leaving the game with lower back tightness. And so Marchand's the hitter with the Phillies down 3-1. For Chris Sale, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk in this game. He's pitched around 4 hits. Has ZRA below 3 for the year.
His strikeouts are down this year for Chris Sale, which surprises me because the stuff is still there, but he's still so darn good.
Yeah, and strikeouts are down. I would say swing and miss rate down a little bit this year. 4 games sample size, right? But he's really struggled with his slider. to this point today, not struggling at all. Here it is.
For his 6th strikeout.
If he gets that slider going back downhill again like he has today, that strikeout percentage, whiff percentage, all that goes right back to 30% normal.
Some defensive changes for the Braves. Michael Harris checks into the game in center field. Eli White moves over to left. Mauricio Doban into short, showing off his versatility. So you can put Harris into the lineup in the 9 spot where Mateo had been. Alec Bohm. Strike 1 on a first pitch slider. 0 for 2 again tonight for Bohm, who is 1 for his last 29 and 132 for the year.
You know, you talked about all the things that Chris Sale has done so well throughout his career. But one of the things that he really loves and prides himself on is going deep into the games. You look up, he has 93 pitches. A lot of pitchers would have said early in the season, oh, we're still kind of early, 91, I'm good, I don't need to go back out there for the 7th.
Hit hard and through for Alec Bohm. He breathed a sigh of relief with a base hit here to get the tying run to the plate.
And he's mixed all of his pitches, nasty sliders, the slider we knew he had. It's the best slider he's had all year. Now also fastballs up, fastballs down, in, out. This has been exactly as advertised. A game of aces. Chris Sale has been super solid, giving up just the 1 home run. The other side, Sanchez, good too, but Chris Sale winning right now.
It was High Speed, sponsored by AT&T. The hitter of that lone home run is at the plate here, and Felix Reyes. It happened to just flip on. Who in the world is Felix Reyes? Nobody knew until his first at-bat tonight either, but then he homered in his first career at-bat. Just called up from AAA this afternoon. 25-year-old who rocketed up the minors the last year plus. On a 1-0 from Sale, Reyes takes a strike, and it's 1-1.
I guarantee there's one thing Chris Sale is not going to let him do. He's not going to let him get extended here to try to shoot him to right field like he did for that home run. He's going to throw those sliders coming in on him. He's going to throw that fastball like he just did right there in on him.
See, Dylan Lee has started to loosen for the Braves. Tying run at the plate in the 7th. 2 balls and a strike on Reyes. Sale has matched his season high in pitches here. Here's his 2-1. Reyes swings and misses. 2-2.
He was trying to tie it up. He was trying to hit another homer. They don't throw sliders like that though, Wayno, in the Florida Complex League or AAA.
Helmet popping off a little bit again, like we saw running around the bases. Remember Odubel Herrera here for a few years. Every time he'd swing, that thing pop off.
Odubel Herrera would walk to the plate and his helmet would fall off.
Sale delivers 2-2, and Reyes stays alive, chopping and foul.
If I'm Chris Sale, I want to see what he's got up and in right here. Fastball in on his hands. Strike 1, sliders now coming into him. Twice he swung at him. You got him swinging in. Try to exploit him up and in right here.
Tying run at the plate for the Phillies. Last of the 7th. Reyes swings over the top of a breaking pitch. The slider finishes him off.
What I just tell you they don't have in AAA.
I said slider down and in.
7 Ks for Sale tonight.
That was great. The lane that came out of, it looks like a heater down the middle and just drops straight off the table. Had him in swing mode. Had to chase him somewhere, right? Down or up.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell this story before Chris Sale gets out of this game. I think it was 2012. He was off to a great start as a starter. And he's dealing. We go to Seattle and they tell me, hey, we're worried about Sale getting hurt. He only gets 25 sliders. I had to have sunflower seeds in my pocket to keep track.
Smacks this one over to first. Does Sosa. Olsen to the bag, and 7 innings from Chris Sale. Tomorrow, NASCAR is back on Fox, and we're headed to the Heartland as NASCAR's best go full throttle in Kansas with pre-race coverage beginning at 1 Eastern with the green flag dropping at 2. The Advent Health 400 tomorrow on Fox. Tanner Banks checks into the game for the Phillies after a scoreless 7th inning from Jose Alvarado. Banks, the lefty, his 8th appearance of the season, facing off with Dubon, White, and Heim here in the 8th. 1 ball, 1 strike. So another good one from Chris Sale. 7 innings for the first time this year. He has dominated in this ballpark. Last 3 starts here, 2 runs in 19 innings. 24 Ks in those 19 innings.
And that's how you become a team's ace. You go into their rivals' ballpark and you don't lose. You shove the way Chris Sale just did to get a hug from Walt Weiss.
Big street cred for going 7-2 in there. There's a difference in seeing the number 6 or the number 7 next to your start on the box score. That's a cool number.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. The 7 Ks, by the way, brings him into a tie with Tom Glavine on the all-time list, 29th and 8th for a left-handed pitcher all-time, Chris Sale. So you're trying to talk about big-time stuff, and you mentioned the word Hall of Fame earlier, AJ. Kenny, an interesting case for Chris.
He is an interesting case, Joe, and he's interesting because he doesn't have the bulk of innings that some other starters do. Now, you look at him, he's about 1,500 fewer innings than CC Sabathia. That's one measure. And then you look at him compared to Johan Santana, who fell off the ballot after 1 year. Their numbers are actually, for their careers, quite similar at this point. The difference with Sale is that he had 4 injury-marred seasons and then came back and won a Cy Young at 35. Santana was done at 33. That was Chris Sale's 8th top 10 Cy Young finish. 7 of those were top 5. And the way voters are looking at things now, guys, they're focusing more on peaks than longevity for certain starting pitchers. That's why Felix Hernandez did so well in last year's balloting. He got 46.1% of the vote in his 2nd year. So with the way things are trending, I certainly think Chris Sale is going to be a strong candidate if he's not in there already.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Eli White. Fouls it into the glove, and Banks has struck out the first 2. It seems to me like he's a shoo-in.
You know, I'm biased because hopefully he'll invite me and I'll get to go and do the whole Cooperstown thing again, which, by the way, if you've never done, is one of the coolest experiences of your life. But he's in for me. I just don't know what else someone. Yes, he had the injuries. Yes, he doesn't have the innings. But if a guy like, and I'm going to use this as an example, Joe Mauer or now Buster Posey, who's going to be on the ballot next year, had a shorter peak and they got in, how can you say Chris Sale wasn't? He's got 9 All-Star games. He's got a Cy Young. He's got a Triple Crown. He's got World Series. What else can the guy do in today's game where starting pitchers aren't expected to go 7, 8, 9 innings every time they take them out?
And I get it, AJ, if he hadn't had the resurgence here at the end of his career and you really are looking at just one burst through the start of his career as Heim collects a 2-out base hit, I get it. But to come back after all that, after 4 years of injury after injury, and then to do it again, you know, win a Cy Young at the age of 35, go 18-3. This is not a question of being a short burst. I know in the cumulative numbers, as Kenny detailed it is, but you're looking at a 16-year career of greatness. The interruption for the injuries, but around the injuries, nothing but greatness.
Also, it doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime. Right? Like the fastball's still jumping, the slider's still biting. He's got 2,600 strikeouts. I mean, he could strike out 200 plus this year, be 2,800. He could strike out 200 plus next year, and now we're talking like 3,000 strikeouts. But the Triple Crown Cy Young in 24, that kind of got him back on that Cy Young or that Hall of Fame map, didn't it?
Yeah, agreed. And I asked him once, hey, which cap are you going to go into the Hall of Fame? He didn't want to talk about it. But I just don't know what else in today's game as a starting pitcher you can do. Tarek Skubal has, we use Blake Snell with the Dodgers. He has 2 Cy Youngs. Is he a Hall of Famer because he has 2 Cy Youngs, but is he a better pitcher than Chris Sale? I would say no, but he has the 2 Cy Youngs, so then people say, well, he deserves credit. It's such an interesting argument, but I think Chris Sale's in. Plus, he's a good guy. People like him. The media will vote for him. And I know Ken will say, oh, it doesn't matter. But it does matter.
Hey, as Kenny's talking about the Hall starting to focus more on peaks, can we get my buddy Oral Hershiser in with the Veterans Committee?
There you go.
Is there a better peak than what Oral Hershiser had?
No. Oh, listen, there's a lot of guys that you could make huge arguments should be in, and as it evolves and there's more committees and more ways to get guys in, I'm a big Hall guy, so I think yes, especially some of the older generation.
Harris takes a 2-out walk, and they'll get Acuna to the plate here. Braves trying to add some insurance, leading 3-1. They got all their scoring in this game back in the third, taking advantage of a huge error on Edmundo Sosa, and then putting the ball in play. Saw it fall a few times and got 3 runs in that little 2-out rally. All the Phillies have gotten is the home run from Felix Reyes in the second. You know, it's kind of an ugly inning for the Phillies, you know, the air opening the door. But as you touched on, guys, this has been a microcosm of how it's been so far for the Phillies. Sloppy defense and then poor luck put on the pitchers.
What else can you do as a pitcher? Error, blue pits, slip on a ball hit 40 miles an hour. And those are the only runs the Braves scored. They really didn't square up a whole lot against Christopher Sanchez. He threw the ball really well. The problem is the guy on the other side has been just a little bit better.
Yeah, I was really proud of him for continuing to pitch through that. I mean, he could have easily lost his emotions, kept making good pitches, and held that great Atlanta lineup to 3 runs with all that hoopla going on. It's not nothing.
Ball on Acuna. 1 for 4 today. You know that a white hot streak is coming sometime before too long for Acuna. When he's healthy, there's nobody more dynamic. 8 seasons in the major leagues, really just 2 fully healthy seasons. Rookie of the year in one of them, MVP in the other.
The catcher is challenging the ball call.
Got a challenge from Rafael Marchand. Oh, that's quite a miss there.
Just a bit high.
Philadelphia has 1 challenge remaining.
It was so far they didn't even give the inches.
It was like it's way up there.
I think the ABS was like, we're really challenging this one.
2-0. Fouled back, 2-1. Acuna, of course, has torn both ACLs. He's back last year from the second injury. Even missing all the time that he has. 180 home runs and 200 stolen bases his first 8 years. One of 4 guys that can say that. Bobby and Barry Bonds, Alfonso Soriano, Ronald Acuna Jr., even though he's averaged 100 games a season.
He's special.
It's insane.
He's special when he's healthy. He's as good as it gets.
Got Heim at second, Harris at first. He swings through it, and it's 3-2.
You forgot one thing on his resume, though. World Baseball Classic champion this year. I know that doesn't mean as much as a World Series, but it means a lot
To the players, it does.
Absolutely, it does. And Yep, as one of the Braves coaches, he was the GM. He couldn't have been prouder. He put the Venezuela team together. So there's some pride when it comes to those countries.
Runners to get a head start as the 3-2 comes home, and Acuna takes ball 4. It's 3 consecutive 2-out base runners, and more of the same for the Phillies in this one.
Well,
Backus is ready.
The reason that Christopher Sanchez was able to limit, he wasn't putting too many free passes on. They had to earn it at least. If you're the Phillies, you can't walk your way into big situations.
Bases loaded. Drake Baldwin at the plate. Fouls off the first pitch. 11 2-out base runners in this game for the Braves.
The Braves have had traffic the whole game.
Yeah, not been a single 1-2-3 inning. 0-2. Chance to get out of it nonetheless.
This is when Drake gets really tough. He uses left field extremely well, uses the left center gap well. He can shoot the ball down the line when he gets behind the count like this. Use the whole field.
A single and 2 walks to load him up. And an 0-2 from Banks. Lays off the high fastball.
Well, Baldwin was one of the best 2-strike hitters in the National League last year because of what you just said, Wayno.
643 hitter with the bases loaded in his career. Is that all? You're giving me like the stanky face, Wayno.
That's crazy.
That's a high number. 9 out of 14.
That's crazy.
And there you go, staying alive. No grand slams, though. Went 8 for 10 with the bases loaded as a rookie. Just give him the Rookie of the Year based on that. Another 1-2 pitch. Up the middle on a bounce. Trey Turner lost his footing there, was able to regain it. Spikes kind of gave out on the edge of the infield. And so the Braves leave the bases loaded. Can the Phillies wake up? Top of the order will be due up. Kyle Schwarber's looming in a 3-1 game. Bullpen has been excellent so far this year. And this is one of their top guys, Dylan Lee, a 1.13 ERA through his first 9 games.
Dylan Lee's been really good. He's been a weapon. His fastball's been the thing. He's always kind of had this really good slider that he throws over 50% of the time. But this year his fastball has been really good.
Pinch hitter. Battle of Dillons. Dylan Moore pinch hits for Brandon Marsh, looking for his first hit as a Philly. 3-1 game, bottom of the 8th, 9-1-2 coming up. And Lee starts him with a slider for a strike. Turner's on deck, then Kyle Schwarber, then Bryce Harper. Phillies trying to come back and end this 3-game skid and avoid losing 20 or 12 of their first 20 games. 0-2. Braves trying to lock down a 4th consecutive win. Start of the day, only the Dodgers a better record across baseball. Atlanta at 13-7. I think everybody saw somewhat of a bounce back coming, but to this degree, this is one of the bright surprises in baseball this year, what Atlanta's done in the first season under Walt Weiss.
It is, and their pitchers are a big reason why. This year 2.72 ERA, last year 4.36.
Strikeout for the first out of the 8th. Dual action sponsored by Roundup, and the Braves have done it even though they've not had Spencer Strider, who has started his rehab. He started on Thursday, and Zach Wheeler, knight in shining armor, coming in to try and save the day for the Phillies. And you said a guy like that, he can inject a ton into a clubhouse.
Yeah, you think about adding a guy into your rotation all of a sudden who is a perennial top 3 pitcher, no question, but in my opinion was going to win the Cy Young Award in the National League last year before he got hurt. He was leading in almost every category, and that's crazy talk because Paul Skeens had a sub-2 ERA. That's how good Zach Wheeler was last year.
Wheeler's going to start tomorrow in Double-A, and there's a chance, if all goes well, that that could be it, and he'd be lined up to face these Braves in Atlanta next weekend. And they need him badly. Rotation outside of Christopher Sanchez, a 6+ ERA. 0-2 on Trey Turner. Taken downstairs. You've got Taijuan Walker giving up 7 runs last night. He's got a 9. Jesus Luzardo signed a big extension. He gave up 9 runs on Wednesday. He's got an 8 ERA. Aaron Nola has not looked like his best self.
Nola's stuff is back, though. Last year's stuff was down. This year's stuff's better, locating it better. Jesus Luzardo is filthy. He's going to be fine. I really believe that. Now, another advantage for getting an ace pitcher back in Wheeler is the other pitchers fall into their spots that they're expected to be in, and they feel more comfortable not having to, go up against the other team's ace all the time, and all of a sudden Luzardo's going up against a 4 or a 5 starter, and you got Nola going up against a 4 or 5, and you got Christopher Sanchez and Wheeler, who are both aces, going up against who doesn't matter who, and that's a big advantage.
Fly ball center field. Michael Harris, 2 gone in the 8th. And it's a rotation that they have invested in. And these are all guys that have big expectations. Andrew Painter finally getting his shot. They're happy with what they've seen from him so far for the most part. You figure you're going to look up and sometime not too far from now, and that's going to be a big strength of this team.
It is the strength of this team. But here's the thing. If you don't score any runs, it doesn't matter who you have pitching. Right?
Phillies are looking at, if they can't overcome this deficit late, it'd be a 4-game losing streak. 7 runs total in those 4 games.
Yes. And if they don't score any more tonight, they've only scored 1 tonight. They scored 0 last night, right? So they have that. And then the Phillies took a 1-0 lead tonight. They're 3 for 21 since then with 7 Ks. What? That's the thing. This team was not only built on pitching, but it was also built on they could hit. 1 through 9. The depth. Remember, it was depth of the lineup. 1 through 9 can hit a home run, do damage. Everyone buying in. Right now, it's just nothing is clicking.
Oh, 2 to Schwarber is tap foul. Dylan Lee's gotten ahead of all 3 hitters that he's faced 0-2. Phillies and the Mets were the big favorites coming in the American League or in the National League East, and at this point they have 2 of the 3 worst records in the league, right there with the Rockies. Another 0-2 pitch.
This is some tough at bats. If you're a left-handed hitter tonight, you go from Chris Sale, funky lefty, down low, weird angle, and then you get Dylan Lee, who's been great against lefties. If you're Kyle Schwarber, you're thinking, well, snuck in 1 knock.
Yeah, you're going to see more and more teams, if they've got good lefties, you know they're throwing them at the Phillies. Another 0-2 pitch. Got up on top of it. Diving stop at second from Ozzie Albies to finish off the 8th. It is all Braves tonight. It's been all Braves in the East all year, month into this season. 3-1 to the 9th we go in Philly. For the top of the 9th, it's Brad Keller, who signed a 2-year contract this offseason. Breakout season last year with the Chicago Cubs. Comes home to Ozzie Albies, flips around, bats left-handed for the first time today, and takes a ball. Really one bad game that has skewed the overall numbers so far for Keller. Otherwise, he's been good. You see Dylan Moore has stayed in, playing center field. 2 balls, no strikes. Now for the Phillies, the bottom of the 9th inning, Harper, Garcia, and Real Muto. The Braves' Jose Iglesias, or Raisel Iglesias, has been awesome. Better part of a year.
But it's imperative that Brad Keller does not give up any more runs. If the Phillies are going to have any chance off Iglesias in the Braves bullpen in the bottom of the 9th.
Oddly, though, nobody's warming in the Braves bullpen just yet. Raisel.
Looks like Suarez is standing out there with the glove on.
Leadoff walk for Albies.
It's still no clean innings for the Phillies tonight, and they're only down 3-1.
Yeah, the Braves have had chances to blow this game open, but they've left 11 men on base. Had the bases loaded last inning, couldn't get anybody in. It's kind of like you were saying earlier, the league has let the Phillies hang around. Should be a lot worse than it is at 8-11 when you're looking at the worst run differential in baseball. Same deal tonight. They're lucky to be only down 2.
I still can't believe Christopher Sanchez has never beat the Braves in 9 starts. That's really hard to believe.
They own him.
It's funny. That's a thing. That's a thing.
Haven't really hit him that hard, but he hasn't gotten any run support in his games against him.
Well, if he's matched up against Chris Sale every time, that's the other problem.
Yeah, it doesn't help. 1-0 on Matt Olson has extended both of his streaks tonight. His hitting streak to 11 games, his on-base streak to 18 games. And then the other one, the games played up above 800.
Does Shohei still have his on-base streak going? What's it, 60?
It is 49 going into tonight.
That's a lot of times on base.
Back to last August. Reached on an air, did Ohtani, but 0 for 3. So still trying to extend that on-base streak to 50. Last Dodger to have a 50 game on, or it would put him second on the Dodger list. 50 time with Willie Keeler back in the early 1900s. 2-2 on Olson.
Is there a chance Lee is going back out?
No, Suarez is.
I know, but he's
up
just
already.
started playing catch. I mean, if a ground ball happens here, we're down. We got 2 outs. Is he going to be able to be?
He was up last inning, so he was.
Oh, he was up half.
He was
That's
given
okay.
the old.
Okay, yeah.
Get loose, but don't get all the way loose trick.
That's the wait till 1 out thing. That's normal.
And don't forget, Robert Suarez is one of the best closers in baseball last year. He's setting up. Well, it looks like not tonight, but he had been setting up for Iglesias. That tells you how much the Braves think of Iglesias.
Yeah.
40 saves last year, led the National League. Throw down to first, and they've got Albies. So the Braves with a mistake right here. And that's the first out of the inning.
Just perfect timing. Ozzie went to get a secondary. He was going to try to steal that base early. Thought he had his timing down. But they were able to put a play on right there. Caught him napping.
Count goes full on Olson after Keller walked Albies. Again, Harper, Garcia, Realmuto due up for the Phillies. You wonder if they would leave Leon for the lefty-lefty with Harper, or is that overthinking it when you got a guy like Suarez?
That's what I was thinking, but I don't think Suarez really cares.
No, you know he doesn't.
Yeah. And you like to get those guys clean innings, you know, so probably just bring him in straight away.
Lefty's 2 for 13 against Robert Suarez this year for whatever it's worth. Payoff pitch to Olson. Popped into shallow center field. On from left comes Reyes. Can't seem to find it. Now does. 2 gone in the 9th inning. Next weekend in Los Angeles, it is the Dodgers hosting the Cubs. Tigers also take on the Reds on Baseball Night in America, 7 o'clock Eastern on Fox next week. Dodgers have a 3-2 lead on the Rockies at this point, trying to get to 16-4. With the best record in baseball. Austin Riley's the hitter, and he takes the first one. Ball 1. Cubs have gotten things going, and you better get it going in the National League Central. Everybody's got a winning record. One on one.
There'll be some fun races, I think, this year.
Yeah.
I think it's a little more evened out, the talent-wise, because some of the lesser teams, the smaller markets, have spent money. The Pirates are a perfect example of that, to get into some races, because they have a Skeens, and they have a Bubba Chandler, and they have Mitch Keller, and they have Jared Jones, and then they have Connor Griffin now. And they made some trades, so I think it's good for the game when everyone tries to win.
Cubs are 11-9 and in last place.
Well, that's never a bad thing, Joe.
Seems terrible. Lays off, and it's 2-2. You got the Reds 13-8. Pirates and Brewers both 12-8. The Cardinals on the verge of getting to 12-8. They lead the Astros. Opposite story in the East, where the Braves are the only team above 500.
And you can't. Do we expect the Mets to lose 10 more games in a row? They've lost 10 games in a row today. They're not going to be this bad, are they? Phillies, you don't believe they're going to be this bad?
Mets have scored 18 runs during that 10-game losing streak. Another 2-2 from Keller, and the count is full on Riley. It's been full on all 3 guys that he's faced in this inning. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Phillies in the 9th inning.
Oh.
Meet the mess, the graphic says. Longest losing streak in more than 2 decades.
The bottom stat outscored 60-18 in 10 games. They have a good lineup. Well, they're supposed to have a good lineup.
Chase from Riley. That's the inning. Juan Soto being out, of course, is going to hurt, but man, oh man, that's another level. Last chance for the Phils. 3, 4, and 5 against Suarez. Suarez against Harper to lead off this 9th inning, and one of the greatest moments in franchise history was Suarez against Harper. Game 5 of the National League Championship Series in 2022 to send the Phillies to the pennant, to the World Series. And with a little less at stake right here, it's Harper against Suarez to start the 9th. Hacks to the first pitch, strike 1.
That was still fun. Get 100 miles an hour from Robert Suarez, one of the best late inning relievers in baseball against one of the best hitters in Bryce Harper.
$45 million contract, 3-year deal for Suarez. Comes over and gives them as good of an 8 and 9. It is an 8th and 9th inning back end as there is in baseball. A night where you don't give it to Iglesias, fine. You bring in the guy that led the league in saves last year. Harper starting the 9th. Changeup looks like it was out of a video game. Fouled off, strike 2.
Yeah, and he's got that great cutter to go with it too. I mean, his stuff is crazy. It's Mason Miller was setting up for Robert Suarez last year, and Robert Suarez is setting up for Iglesias this year.
He strikes him out with the fastball. 1 gone in the 9th.
Just gas. Just 4-seam. Hit this if you can, Bryce. He throws it in that little hole up and in. You have to get it to with Bryce. But again, Phillies offense tonight, 5 hits, 4 singles, and Reyes' homer. Other than that, it has been a big fat nothing burger.
They brought up just 2 more than the minimum since the home run. Strike 1 on Adolis Garcia. The Braves on the verge of a 4th consecutive win. Phillies on the verge of dropping a home series for the 4th time already this year, which would exceed the total from all of last season. Suarez deals, lays off. Braves are the only team in baseball that has not dropped a series yet. As good as the Dodgers have been, they dropped 2 of 3 to Cleveland. And this after just a disaster of a season relative to what was expected, relative to what they had done year after year leading into last year, missing the playoffs for the first time in almost a decade. It's been quite a response. A follow-up campaign. What a way for Walt Weiss to validate being the choice. Swing and a miss. 100 and back-to-back Ks to open the 9th for Suarez. He's saying, you think I'm a setup guy? Watch this.
Oh, he's not saying that. He's just saying you can't hit what I'm throwing at 100. Hey, he's not saying anything about setup, closing, none of that. He's just playing good old country hardball, and they can't catch up.
Marchand. 2-0 on Marchand. If he can find his way aboard, Alec Boehm would come up as the tying run. Lone run for the Phillies back in the second. The Braves got all three in the third. Nothing since for either side. On a 2-0, Marchand takes a strike on the inside corner. Bryce Elder for the Braves tomorrow. Elder's got a sub-1 ERA. Everybody doing it for Atlanta. Nola counters for the Phillies. Beg your pardon, it's Painter and Holmes. Looking ahead to next weekend. They're going to face off again next weekend, these two teams. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies down to their last strike.
That pitch is not fair. That's just not fair.
Suarez has this one popped into right field. The Braves have won their 4th consecutive game, handing the Phillies a 4th consecutive defeat. And boos rain down from this Citizens Bank crowd. The only team in baseball yet to drop a series in 2026. The first place Braves now 14-7.
The Braves, this is what we said. They don't give up a lot of runs. They score runs. They got a bunch of hits, 10 hits tonight. They kind of small balled the Phillies, but Chris Sale was dominant. Only the 1 home run, and the Braves had just enough offense. This is what first place teams do.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a low scoring affair with 2 great pitchers on the mound. The Braves just took advantage of a couple little mistakes by the Phillies, and that's what it came down to. It's a game of inches with these two.
A 5-game lead in the division already for Walt Weiss's bunch. With his 3-1 victory over the Phillies, series will wrap up tomorrow. For A.J. Pierzynski, Adam Wainwright, Ken Rosenthal, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Philadelphia after this 3-1 Braves win. We'll get you to Kevin Burkhardt and the D-Train, Dontrell Willis back in L.A. right after these messages.